Welcome to Let's Fly VFR. Today we're heading out doing a little bit of storm chasing out in the Nevada desert. Well, we're at Las Vegas. Now the whole point of this is to see whether the programming that was reported to be occurring, which is modelling the storms a lot better than they had been with downdrafts, updrafts and all these sorts of things. So here we are in the Robin, and we're going to give this a damn good go, see if we can't kill ourselves or will we survive. Now we've got two flights I've got planned. This one I have the storm set really just above the runway, so as we take off we're going to end up right in it, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe nothing. I don't really know. Don't know what's going to happen here at this point, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to get taken out by that van over there. So now the airport is roughly about 2,000 feet above sea level anyway, so take that into account when if I do any screaming out of numbers. And the storm level starts at about 3,000 feet, so well, that's for the solid part of it anyway. Now we may have some cloud below it, so we'll see what happens, and we'll see how well the Robin handles it. The second one I'm planning, I'm going to put the altitude of the cloud up a little bit higher and give us a chance to get up into it. You know, that's if we get that far. And we'll have the base of that from about 4,000 to about 30,000 feet. And then we'll give that a fly. We'll fly up into it from relatively decent weather, see what sort of air we get, and then we will see where we end up. Whether we're in the ground or nothing happens at all remains to be seen. This was something that was promised back in 11.36, but with the proviso that it would be some time before we got it, so I thought it was about time we checked it out. So rolling down runway 16, I think it is, as we head out, one stage of flaps as we head out, and climbing fairly quickly up into the cloud. So we're going to see how this works out. So we've got a good rate of climb at the moment. It's already starting to hit some turbulence. That's surprising that it's so damn quick. Having trouble holding on to it now. I guess it would have been good if you could actually see what the controls were doing, but they were doing lots at this point, and we're trying to hold it steady. Now I've still got good, well, there's a touch of stall warning, even though it was showing me as climbing. Now we're going into a descent here, even though my angle of attack is, well, my nose is above the horizon. So it's a real battle at the moment. It's moving around a hell of a lot. So I'm getting up, but my speed is dropping. This is not proving to be, this is proving to be a lot more violent than I really expected it to be. But sure, now I've lost control. It's gone. So we're losing. We're basically just falling out of the sky. We've stalled. And there we go. So that didn't go very well. Well, it just proves that the storm is bloody powerful. And just about no hope of doing that. So if you're doing this in an airliner, would be an interesting exercise as well, I guess. But I'm just going to stay with the GA stuff for now. So the thunderstorms are now up at around about 4,000 feet. And they top out at about 30,000 feet, so we might have to fly a little bit before we get to them, and then we'll search them out. And our green and white Robin 401. I really love flying this thing around. It's such a nice aircraft. And I have something new coming up as well. Well, not a new, a bit of a review of something old, but something I've been using for a while, coming out into the next video, I would think. So here we are, 19, I should say. It's 16 before. 19 as we head out, powering up. Now it's a little overcast, but it isn't too bad. Accelerating well, maintaining the centre line, which is my friend. Not always, as you know. And here we go, up into the soup, and we're going to find some trouble. This could take a little bit of time because we need to climb up, and how well the cells are formed. I guess if we had some of the packages that are out there, you know, X Enviro and others, the clouds may be better formed than they are. They might be formed as nicely as the new FSX or FS 2020, what we're seeing in the demo videos we've seen from that. They look magnificent. So we've got what we've got. So we'll keep heading out, and we're going to keep fairly close to the airport. We'll fly around and see whether we can find something nasty to fly into. And we do have the weather map that will allow us to do that, so we can have a look there if we don't find anything. We've got to get some altitude first. We're climbing pretty smoothly. Still got good cloud cover ahead of us there. We've got some more altitude, and we've got it's like Las Vegas down there on the left. If you happen to live there, guys, you probably know whether I've got it right or not. If there's another city nearby, but that looks like the right place. So still heading out, bit of altitude now, and a whole bunch of cloud there ahead of us. Now if you've got it as individual clouds, and you've selected anything but storm, it does seem to be a lot nicer, but once you've got the storm selected, it just becomes a white soup. We've got a little bit of lightning and stuff happening around us, and we're climbing pretty well. You guys have had a really great week, and yeah, if you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed the videos, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. Love to have you on board. Now you can see the cloud there in the circle, and you can see where I am flying out, so I'm going to head towards that and see what happens. It's a pretty big wall of cloud we're going to fly into, isn't it? So getting a little bit closer. Everything's going alright so far. Right, we're just coming to the edge of certainly the first part of the storm, and we'll see how. So a lot of these storms in real life, depending on which way the wind is going as well, because it goes up the centre, and then it goes out the top, and then comes down the outside. A bit like running up the inside of a donut and then coming out. But if you notice big storm clouds, you'll always see one edge goes out to a point. They call that the anvil. It goes up and then curls out like a maybe the peak of a hat, that sort of thing. And that's where a lot of the air comes back down, and that's why it's dangerous to be probably within 10 miles of an airport, a cloud like that, because you're never really sure to see where the air's going to come back down again. Now we're getting a bit of turbulence, and we're starting to sink a little bit, so pulling back, trying to keep the power up, and we're currently around about 13,000 feet above sea level, which is about 11,000 feet above the ground, I think, at this point, being it's about 2,000 feet above sea level at airport level where we left. So things are starting to get a little bit hairier. I put the power right up to full. I did bring it back. Now we're just coming out of the back of that brown section, and I'm pretty heavily into a lot of sinking air. There's a bit of turbulence there, and there's also we just heard the stall warning. Just trying to hold it, but pretty much lost control now, and we are just falling out of the sky at a hell of a rate of knots. Now I've taken the power off, trying to work out which way I'm spinning, because you can see the compass spinning pretty quickly there. So normally it is nose down and opposite rudder to stop the spin, and we are falling incredibly quickly. Still battling away to try and get it. So this is what it looks like from the outside. This is us heading down, and that's what the wind, the downdraft from the centre of the storm really, or from the outside of the storm, has done. We've gone past where the wind air's gone up, and it's now coming down like a freight train on top of us. And I'm just trying to recover it now. There's the ground, and with power coming on and the spin correction, we've survived, which is one hell of a surprise, because I didn't think that would happen. And we're probably out about 500 feet above the ground, so we have fallen a very long way. And I think at that point we might call it quits. That was pretty scary. Probably one of the most scariest flights that I've actually had, because for a lot of that was just a passenger on the way down. wasn't until it started to stabilise a little bit at the bottom there, that I was able to get that back power on and opposite rudder and nose forward. So I'll have a quiet little flight home, and I'll catch you back here next week at Let's Fly VFR. Thanks for joining me for the ride. Hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, and come and visit letsflyvfr.com if you're looking for some information or some new toys for your sim. Really appreciate the support, and I'll catch you again real soon. See you later. Bye.